There's less news in the markets today with Israel and Iran quieted down. We have other central bank news kind of on the back burner after the interest rate decisions last week. Fed Chair Powell's testimony yesterday. He's going to repeat that in trading here today in front of the Senate. But the expectations are that nothing's going to change from yesterday as a 3 or 4 hour testimony at the House. So things are on track for so far a very quiet day. We are seeing the dollar yen move higher. That is the biggest currency pair with a gain of about 0.5, 0.6%. The euro versus US dollar and the sterling versus US dollar, a little change, less than 0.1% change in those currency pairs. I'll talk about the technicals that are driving each of those major currency pairs in this video. So let's get started. Looking at the euro versus US dollar on the hourly chart, we did squeeze to a new high for the year, a new high going back to, well, I'm going to have to go to the daily chart all the way back to this point right here, which is back in October of 2021, but we did fall short of the next target up here at 1.1663 up to 1.16916 at level off the daily chart. Was swing lows through here, and then we broke below that level and became swing highs here before moving to the downside. So keep that area in mind going forward. But as you can see, the price has moved lower, looking to test. It looks like the April high, which came in at 1.15726. Let's go back to the hourly chart. That 1.15726. I'm going to put a horizontal line just below that 78 level. That 78 level represents the swing high right here, where we moved just above that 72 level, and then we traded above and below right here before basing and moving to the upside here. So that 72 to 78 level is going to be the next target on the downside after the disappointment on the failed break to new highs going back to that October 2021 time period. You can see that in trading here today, the high price today stalled against the high price that we saw in the month of June, earlier in the June, and that has helped to give the sellers the go ahead to push lower. But we're going to need to get below the 72 to 78 level on the downside, and then we'll start to look toward the 100 and 200 hour moving averages, which are both starting to move back to the upside. To get below those levels would then tilt the bias more to the downside from a technical perspective. Let's take a look at the dollar versus yen next, and again we'll focus on the hourly chart. And I mentioned that this currency pair was the biggest mover in trading here today. It's currently up 0.58% from yesterday's close. The day started by trying to move up to test the 200-hour moving average. Recall from yesterday, we moved below that level, which actually we traded above and below it, and then used the level as resistance and pushed to the downside. Problem was we couldn't get down toward the next key target, which I had earmarked at the 61.8% retracement, and also this swing level where we had a couple, number of different swing lows coming into this level after a swing high right here. So that was going to be the next key target on the downside. Couldn't quite get there. Trading here today, we moved back up to that 200-hour moving average in the Asian session, found willing sellers, pushed back to the downside, but then based ahead of the low price from yesterday, ahead of this target, the heat level right here. And when we moved above the 200-hour moving average, you can see the increased momentum to the upside. The sellers turned to buyers on the disappointment below those levels. We also moved above the 50% retracement at near the same time. So that increased the bullish bias, and since then we started to move back up toward resistance at the broken 38.2% retracement and the 100-hour moving average, which is where we stand right now, right around the 145.76 level. If we're able to stay above this level, then the bias turns more to the upside, failing below the 200-hour moving average, moving back above the 200, moving back above the 100-hour moving average. All those are positive from a technical perspective. So this is the key point, and we're at a key barometer for trading today in the dollar versus yen to kickstart the session. We'll see what buyers or sellers want to do at this level. Finally, we'll take a look at the sterling versus US dollar. And like the Euro versus US dollar, we squeezed up to a new high. Going back to the weekly chart in this currency pair, that new high took the price all the way to the highest level going back to 2022, January 2022. So that was a significant break. But like the Euro versus US dollar, we also failed. And also like the Euro versus US dollar in trading here today, we moved up to test the old high going back to early June and found willing sellers. The most exact same pattern that we saw in the Euro versus US dollar. Fail, break, come back up to the old high, find willing sellers and push back to the downside. The next key target comes against this swing area between 135.80 and 135.92. Move below that level and opens the door for further downside. With really not a lot of support. This is all up and down, gobbledygook kind of consolidation type trading here. But not a lot of support until we get to the 100 and 200 hour moving averages and the that come near converged levels at that 1.3513 level. So be aware of that level on the downside. But the first level of support comes here at 135.80 to 91. If we do start to find buyers once again, we're going to need to get above the 136.33 level and stay above it this time. So there you have it. A look at the three major currency pairs to kickstart your trading day. My name is Greg Michalowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.